Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to swap out the PCV valve on my BMW 2009 335i convertible. For those of you that don't know what PCV stands for, it's positive crankcase ventilation valve, and what it does, it takes the fuel and air mixture and recirculates it into the intake manifold. If you're running a vehicle that has high mileage, or perhaps you've added extra boost to it, it's a good idea to change this part out. It can fail, and it can be very expensive if you're taking it to the dealer. So for a little bit of money, a little bit of time, do the work on your car. I can do it, I'm sure you can do it. Check it out, I'll show you how easy it is. So in order to get to the PCV valve, which sits all the way back here, you will have to remove the cowl. And as you can see, my cowl assembly has been cut back, and I have removed the cabin air intake filter. I've replaced it with the BMS style cabin air intake filters there, and I cut back the cowl very nicely so I don't have to always remove it when I'm doing work on the engine and I need to remove the cover, or when I'm getting to my oil catch can, which resides right back there. Now I've got a video that I'll have the link above where I have done this cowl modification. I think it's really cool, it's really cheap, really quick, and it looks much cleaner, and it gives you easy access. So what I'm going to do right now is just remove the engine cover, and I'll do that with the Hex 5 bit. Take those off, easily remove the cover, and then get into accessing the PCV valve. So the PCV valve sits right inside this housing right in there. And it's very easy to get behind this fuel rail and do the work. However, I want to be safe, I want to do it right. I'm going to remove that fuel rail. The very first thing that I did was disconnect the battery. You don't have to, but I just take that precaution whenever I'm doing work on my vehicle. Also, I don't want any fuel to spit up if the vehicle accidentally triggers. So I'm going to be safe, I'm going to take it off, and that way I can get easier access to removal of that housing. So I put a few rags there just in case a little bit of fuel does spill out when I'm removing that fuel line there. Keep in mind, I did disconnect the battery. The negative terminal on the battery is disconnected. The car is cool. I'm not doing this while the car is hot. It's been sitting overnight. So I don't have any issues with that, getting burned or even any extra fluids being in there. A little bit will drip out. It's okay, it's common, it happens. But I protected myself by putting those rags. So with a 14 millimeter, I'm gonna loosen the connectors and pull out that fuel line. And there you have that. The fuel line is out very easily, once again, with a 14 millimeter. Now here you see the housing for the PCV valve. And in order to remove that, you've got to loosen and remove right here this bolt, which is a 13 millimeter. You want to be very, very gentle, not to try too hard. You can crack it, you can damage it. So very, very gently, just give it a twist. It'll start to loosen, it'll come right out, and you can access the PCV valve inside. Now again, some people I've seen, they have left the fuel line on. I just find it difficult. Once you loosen it, you cannot remove the entire housing there. It doesn't pop out as easily. So I'd say do it the correct way the first time so you don't have any issues. Remove the fuel line, 14 millimeter, 13 millimeter back here, very easily, softly, but with some pressure, it'll come right out.
What's up? It's Pickles. Leave a message.
Hey, I'm calling you back.
So right here you see the PCV valve housing cover. It unscrews. You want to be gentle when you're removing it so you don't crack anything. That way you don't have to replace that as well. So after a little bit of work, a little pulling here and there and finagling, I managed to get out the old PCV valve. And you can see it compared to the new one that I'm going to replace it with. The new one is more of a aluminum billet kind of material. It's much heavier, much sturdier, it looks solid. And this will be a much better replacement for this plastic stock one. I'm going to pop that in right now. So to pop the new PCV valve back in, you want to put it into the housing cover. Just snap it right in place like that. Make sure you've got your rubber gasket there and screw it right back in. So you want to make sure you hand tighten everything back on. You don't want to over tighten it so you don't break it or snap it. That's pretty good right there. There is no torquing involved. You want to make sure that it's nice and secure and flat when you're screwing it back in by hand, and then hand tighten with your 13. And that's it. You can start putting everything back together and complete the job. Well, there it is, everyone. The job is complete. A quick remove and replace of the PCV valve. Not a difficult task. A couple of tools is all you need. It really does help if you've got your cowl either cut back or removed if you've done some performance modifications on it. It does save you some time. I know it saves me lots of time when I'm doing all the work on my car. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to remove and replace the PCV valve on your BMW 335i N54 engine. Like and subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos that I have coming up. Thanks for watching.